Everyone, so I welcome you in this session where we will talk about a very important class of drug, that is your antidepressant drugs. Like we do always, there is a question at end which you need to answer. This is a part 1 in which we will consider classification and what are the mechanisms, and then further we will carry on the details of the respective classes. So let's begin with, and if you are new and you have not subscribed yet, you can subscribe also for more the updates and such videos. So let's begin with antidepressant drugs. So before starting, we should always know why we are studying a topic. Okay, so what is depression? Basically, in order to understand depression, you need to understand two terms. There is a term known as affect and there is a term known as mood. Now right now, whatever your state of mind is, whether you are happy, angry or whatsoever, that is your affect. That is a particular transient time. Okay, so the immediately expressed and observed emotion is affect, and it will be observable, that is I can detect that what you are feeling right now. Okay, whereas what is mood is comparatively longer stage. Okay, 1 month, 2 month, such kind. So it is a pervasive and sustained emotion, है ना, and this will basically depend on what the people or the person perceive of the world. Okay, so mood is like, as you can see, depression and all these things, they are quite long period. They are not like one day you are feeling sad and you will say I am depressed. Okay, they are usually having a timeline minimum of 14 days. So from that your mood disorders start. So basically we study depression and mood disorder, and mood disorder can be either mania where the person is quite happy, and then there can be depression. So just some basic symptoms you know of depression, that is loss of interest, okay, sad mood, low energy, 3 triads are there: worthlessness, helplessness and selflessness. So all these things contribute to the symptoms of depression. That is hopelessness. Okay, not selflessness. So hopelessness, and these are all some of the symptoms of depression. So now we will focus upon drugs. Okay, so in order to know about drugs, you should know why depression occurs. Okay, so basically there is a pathophysiology. What pathophysiology states that there are many neurotransmitters. Okay, so there are neurotransmitters that are involved in certain perception of, you know, some feelings or some mood changes. Okay, so now whenever there is deficiency of these neurotransmitter, obviously it will reflect. Okay, so what are these neurotransmitter? These you can see, these are the neurotransmitter. What does this figure means? This figure is nothing complicated, just a simple figure. Basically it suggests that these are your receptors for noradrenaline. Okay, these are your dopamine receptors and these are your receptors of serotonin. Now principal monoamines which we talk about in depression are your serotonin and noradrenaline. Okay, so they basically either this red arrow means inhibit or activate. So these will inhibit or activate your phospholipase C and adenylyl cyclase. Now I hope you know that from general pharma, these all phospholipase as well as adenylyl cyclase will activate a cascade. Okay, so now these will then further form particular protein or particular, you know, structures which will further carry on your mood. So this is a quite complex reaction. Basically all these receptors are interlinked. This is a phylogenetic tree. You need not to go in that much detail, but what basic you should know, that there are some neurotransmitters and they are involved in your cascade process, and this leads to certain mood. Okay, certain mood swings are also due to their levels, and ultimately there are many receptors which interact with each other. What we need to know is monoamine hypothesis. So monoamine hypothesis means, I told you, serotonin, norepinephrine. Okay, dopamine can be considered both ways. So these are basically depleted. So what you need to know in bold letters is depletion. There is depletion in serotonin, norepinephrine, dopamine. Now what your antidepressant drug will do, it will basically elevate this neurotransmitter. Now how will you elevate this neurotransmitter? So suppose someday you are living in your hostel or at your home and you want to do a night out. Okay, so what you can do is, either this is your neurotransmitter, that is you, and now you want to do night out. So either what you can do is, you can utilize the time you have. Okay, or there is a pathway which is known as reuptake. So in that what happens, the neurotransmitter is again goes to its neuron. So basically this is like your home. Okay, either you have to return your home or it is you can go to night out. So you need to, what you need to do is either enjoy the time or either prevent going home. So how will you prevent going home? By neurotransmitter reuptake inhibitor. Okay, you will inhibit that reuptake process. And how will you stay maximally active? Basically you will prevent metabolism of this neurotransmitter. So your neurotransmitter was depleting here due to metabolism, so either inhibit the metabolism or reuptake inhibit. So how you can classify the drugs? Basically inhibit the reuptake or prevent what is left from metabolizing. Okay, this is all you need to do. So in the reuptake process, you will inhibit the certain reuptake transporters. For noradrenaline it is NET, and for serotonin it is serotonin transporter. So you will inhibit that. Now we started making drugs, okay, according to this. So first of all, what we did was we inhibited both of them, noradrenaline and serotonin. So we made a drug called as tricyclic antidepressant, okay. But now these had many side effects because they had many interaction with other drugs also. So we thought we should do it better. So now we prepared some drugs which, although inhibited reuptake of both serotonin and noradrenaline, but did not give that much side effect in other system. So they were called as serotonin noradrenaline reuptake inhibitor. Further we got better and we just inhibited the reuptake of noradrenaline, and then came the best class of drug, that is only serotonin reuptake inhibitor. So SSRI are the drug of choice in every kind of depression. If you say depression is of 10 types, all depression, the drug which will be the drug of choice is SSRI, okay. But we need to study all these drugs in order to understand why and how we made pharmacology better, okay. So now the next thing that you need to know is you have to prevent it from metabolizing. So how the drug is metabolized? Basically there is your enzyme, it is a mitochondrial enzyme known as monoamine oxidase, okay. So it will basically metabolize your particular neurotransmitter. So this is of two type, MAO-A and MAO-B. A is for all, overall, it is present in body in many parts, whereas B for brain, it is concerned with your brains principally. So now it will kind of deaminate the enzymes, but now you have inhibited MAO, so the drug will stay long, it won't get metabolized. So I hope this classification is clear to you now. Now what we need to do is we need to study each of these classes in detail. In this video we will study MAO inhibitors in detail, okay. So just a gentle reminder, if you want to revise any topic in like 5 to 10 minutes of short videos, you can refer my old videos. So now let's begin with MAO inhibitors. So what is MAO inhibitors? Basically MAO inhibitors will be classified in two types. As I told you, basically you have MAO-A and MAO-B. So either you inhibit MAO-A and those drugs are reversible. And now if you will inhibit both MAO-A and MAO-B, these will be non-selective as well as they are irreversible. Irreversible का मतलब क्या है? The drug has inhibited a particular enzyme, okay, but now it has inhibited it so long that even after the drug got eliminated, its effect is still there. This is what you call irreversible. So now what, that enzyme is useless. So now you need to resynthesize that enzyme. So that reaction is called as irreversible, and the drug is called as hit and run because it just hit that enzyme and then it ran, it excreted, but still its effect is there. So drugs stay in the body for short period but effect lasts longer, and now return will depend on the synthesis of fresh enzyme. So what are the some of the example of non-selective? Phenelzine, isocarboxazid should be remembered always, okay, and this drug is particularly banned right now. And then your reversible is eprobamide and moclobemide, okay. So this is all you need to know. Now some particularly what you know, that there are certain side effects, okay. You see that it is irreversible, as well as MAO is not only metabolizing your noradrenaline, serotonin in brain or some other part, it also metabolizes many other enzymes. So you will inhibit MAO permanently, so this will lead to many side effects. You don't need to give to depression patient, this is not the first line drug. So where you will give? You will give in atypical depression. Atypical depression, what is atypical? This is atypical, means normally in depression, once the person is sad, even if you give him PUBG to play, he will be sad, okay. But atypical depression is once the ban on PUBG is removed, the person will be happy, okay. So the pleasurable event will lead to happiness. So this is atypical because it is not observed in depression. So आप इसे एक हल्का टाइप का depression कह सकते हैं. So by that you can remember MAO inhibitor will be given in atypical depression. What are the side effects? Basically they are hepatotoxic drugs and a very important cheese reaction. What is cheese reaction? Now see, this is a biochemical pathway, you need not to learn it or fear with it. This is basically your phenylalanine, tyrosine, tyramine, okay. You know this basic amino acids, okay. So this tyramine, basically what I want to focus right now is tyramine has a role in our body and it displaces norepinephrine. This is tyramine further forming dopamine, and then it will displace your norepinephrine, okay. So what is tyramine? Basically tyramine is, now you can read this line, indirectly acting sympathomimetic amines, okay. So it will act indirectly but it will act like sympathetic agent. So the concentration of sympathomimetic will increase. How? noradrenaline. Okay, so basically what happens that when you consider eating cheese with MAO inhibitor, so now cheese has large quantities of tyramine will reach systemic circulation and cause release of noradrenaline. Now noradrenaline was metabolized by MAO, but now you have inhibited it, so basically noradrenaline will keep on increasing and this will lead to hypertensive crisis and also known as cerebrovascular accidents, also cerebral vascular accident. So this CVA and hypertension crisis is a very important side effect and we should always consider giving it before to the patient. And now if there is needed treatment of this, now you give alpha blocker, so basically noradrenaline was acting on the alpha receptors, now that action will be blocked and your HTN will be preserved. So this is all you need to know. Now the certain side effects I told you, as many as drug interaction there will be side effect. So simply keep a drug which have sympathetic action and make it worse. Okay, so suppose if cold and cough remedies ke saath diya, so it will contain ephedrine or other sympathomimetics, so it will again lead to hypertensive reaction. So this is all you need to know, and again I would suggest that go to the details of the topic instead of just cramming up particular things, although these are complicated, but you should know an idea about that. So this is all you need to know about antidepressant MAO inhibitor. We will continue further. So please share this initiative to your friends as well and comment the answer below. Thank you. Stay safe. Stay healthy.